We all know what it's like to be so attracted to someone that we would do anything to be with them. We lose sleep, we lose focus, and we lose ourselves in fantasies about them. But what happens when this desire becomes our sole focus? What happens when we become obsessed with someone to the point where they become our entire universe? Jung called this state of being in love, and it can lead us to do things we never thought possible. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to explore the dark side of desire and how it can lead us to self-destruction. So let's get into it. Carl Jung was a psychiatrist and psychoanalyst who developed his own theory of psychology, which he called analytical psychology. He believed that the human psyche could be divided into three parts: the ego, personal unconscious, and the collective unconscious. The ego is the part of the psyche that is conscious and aware. The personal unconscious is the part of the psyche that is below the threshold of consciousness. It can't be accessed through introspection. And the collective unconscious is the part of the psyche that is shared by all humans and contains universal symbols and archetypes. According to Jung, when we are in a state of being in love, our ego becomes merged with the ego of the object of our desire. We lose ourselves in the fantasy of being with this person, and we become consumed with thoughts of them. This can be a wonderful experience, but it can also lead to self-destruction if we become too absorbed in the fantasy. One way that we can lose ourselves in this fantasy is by idealizing the object of our desire. When we do this, we create a perfect image of this person in our minds, and we believe that they are everything we have ever wanted. We may become so enamored with this image that we forget that they are a real person with flaws and imperfections. This can lead us to be blindsided when they inevitably make mistakes or do something that doesn't live up to our expectations. Another way that we can lose ourselves in the fantasy is by becoming overly attached. When we become overly attached to the object of our desire, we make them the center of our universe. We plan our lives around them, and we make all of our decisions based on what we think they would want or approve of. We may neglect our other relationships and responsibilities in order to focus on this one person. And this can lead to problems down the road if the relationship does not work out. So how can we avoid losing ourselves in the fantasy and ensure that we stay true to ourselves while we are in love? One way to do this is to maintain a strong ego. Our ego is what makes us who we are. It is our sense of identity and individuality. So it is important to hold on to that part of ourselves when we are in love. We need to be aware of the dangers of losing ourselves in the fantasy, and we need to be willing to step back and evaluate our thoughts and feelings. We catch ourselves idealizing the object of our desire or becoming overly attached. We can take steps to correct these behaviors. We can remind ourselves that the person we are in love with is just a human being with flaws and imperfections. We can make sure that we are not neglecting our other relationships and responsibilities, and we can take some time to focus on ourselves and our own needs. It can be helpful to talk to someone about how we are feeling. If we are struggling to stay true to ourselves while in love, reaching out for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. In conclusion, falling in love can be one of the most amazing experiences in life, but it is important to be aware of the dangers of losing ourselves in the fantasy. If we are not careful, our desire for someone can consume us and lead us to self-destruction. But if we maintain a strong ego and are willing to be honest with ourselves about our feelings, we can avoid these pitfalls and stay true to ourselves while in love. So, what are your thoughts on Jung's ideas about love and desire? Have you ever experienced the dangers of losing yourself in the fantasy of being in love? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to show your support. As always, thanks for watching, and see you next time.